Right guys, it's time to get up. Enough of the snuggling.
It's not me, it's Furrnando.
Look at you.
I don't want to wake him up, but now he's awake. You woke him up.
Stolen my spot.
We're the indie projects, Bee and Theo. In 2017, we bought an abandoned property in Central Portugal and spent the last few years turning it into a fully fledged homestead, converting an old stone barn into a cosy tiny home. Working non-stop and overcoming many obstacles, it turned out better than we ever could have imagined. As one chapter closes, another one begins. Our dreams of living even more remotely in a fairy tale forest with space for animals to roam and our passions to grow became a reality. Before we have even moved there, it was devastated by a huge wildfire, drastically altering the landscape. Immense flash floods followed as the land couldn't hold onto the water. Follow us as we carve out our new life on Miracle Mountain.
Bee's just brewing her morning coffee.
Getting ready to take it with me for a nice walk into the forest. There's loads of noises going on. I've got the dishwasher going, I've got the coffee machine going. This is all such surreal things to be saying. But it is nice to have a machine making a coffee for me.
It's a beautiful Sunday morning here on Miracle Mountain, and we're both excited to head up the mountain for a beautiful walk because the weather's lovely. It's going to be about 17 degrees today. And Furrnando is wriggling around. He doesn't want to spend time with his dad, do you?
He does, he just wants to be free.
We've got our Starlink set up, and a lot of you guys have been asking, what is this around Furrnando's neck? He's trying to beat me up. Well, that is mobile Starlink, so wherever Furrnando goes, we have mobile Wi-Fi anywhere on the property, and that's not actually true. It's a tracker, which I'm really happy that we put on him because we've realised he is a big adventurer. We have found him in the forest and tracked him all over the property, and the first hour that we let him out, he covered 1.5 miles. So he's definitely getting his exercise, and now we realise when he comes back why he tries to eat his food and Ginjey's.
It's nice to go on this family walk together. If you're wondering where Ginjey is, I think she's in bed. She's not really much of a morning cat. She prefers to lounge. She's had her breakfast, whereas Furrnando's quite a few years younger than her, so he wants to come out and get rid of all of his energy all the time. So this will be a nice walk into the forest. It already smells delicious. I love the smell of the pine trees, so I'm excited to get deep in the forest today.
What do they call this? Like forest bathing?
Yeah.
Forest bathing. That is what we're going to do this morning. Forest bathe on a lovely Sunday morning. Basically, try not to trip over and just spend time in the forest, listening to the sound of trickling water down the stream. Seriously, it's got so good for you.
I love this sound here.
So fresh. That'll wake you up.
What can you smell, Furrnando?
It's essentially a Furrnando-sized water slide, so maybe in the summer use that all the way down into the lake.
I don't know if you can see because obviously it's a bit darker, but the tunnel goes down there. Can you imagine?
Come on, come on. Furrnando. Good boy. Good boy. I never thought I'd go rock climbing with my cat. You love it, don't you?
So we noticed on Furrnando's tracker that he'd been spending hours, and I mean literally about 3 hours here at the witch's house, which is deep in the forest. So he really likes this area and he's come with us here, and I actually can see him in the corner now. Looks like he's preparing to, yep, do a dump. So this might just be his toilet and he likes to chill here, but it's such a cute little ruin in the forest.
I can imagine him just lying here, climbing on the boulders and just having fun on his own.
Imagine all the things that live in here. Mice, reptiles, bits and bobs, who knows?
I reckon he just used that fireplace over there as a nice sleeping deck. Okay, a little interview with Furrnando. Oh, you're walking off? Tell us where you'd hang out in the witch's house and why.
I can see why Furrnando spends so much time up here, because it's so peaceful. He's literally yawning, and it's a really good lookout spot for everything that's going on in the forest. He's just so happy here, it's lovely. Are you a happy boy?
So we've just come to a massive boulder garden where we actually found Furrnando the other day via his tracker, and he looked the most chilled we've ever seen him. We found him and he just looked so zen, like he's just meditating, sitting on top of a stone, having the time of his life. If you guys don't know, Furrnando gets really freaked out by like engine noises and sounds, so I can imagine him just coming up here, spending time on his own with just the sound of the birds and the stream. I can see why he'd spend all of his time up here. I definitely can't wait to spend more time up here.
This spot feels as good a place as any to have my morning coffee. It's so wonderful as well because we can hear the stream. Furrnando's followed us. We're quite far from the house now. Does your cat follow you when you go on walks? I know a lot of cats do. Ginjey does as well.
Not just quite far, really far. And up a really steep incline.
Yes, it is a steep incline, that's for sure.
And like I say, that's now we know why he eats so much.
Yeah, we do, because he does eat like a horse, and we just think it's because he's greedy and because of where he came from. He was on the streets, food was scarce, but it's because he just goes so far and burns so much energy. It's amazing. And this coffee is spot on. If I do say so myself, I know I made it, but I'm going to praise myself for this coffee. We've partnered with MyHeritage to find out more about ourselves by using their DNA kits to uncover our ethnicity estimates and find new relatives based on shared DNA.
Bee and I are really excited about this partnership because we've always wanted to know more about our history.
We just unboxed our DNA kit and it comes with these great step-by-step instructions that make it super easy for us to get this process started. So all you have to do is take this simple cheek swab that takes about 2 minutes, and then you'll receive back a percentage breakdown of your origins across 42 different ethnicities and over 2,000 geographical regions. MyHeritage is the #1 family history and DNA service in Europe. So whilst we were waiting for our results to arrive, we got stuck into building our family tree and found out some really cool stuff, like the fact that my great-granddad was a showman in the circus, which is just absolutely amazing. We also played around with MyHeritage's photo features, which can help enhance, colorise and animate old family photos.
Okay, so I have my results. I'm going to open them live on camera. I've not seen these yet. Let me just fire it up. So, mostly English, Irish, Scottish and Welsh, which makes sense. Eastern European. Ooh. This is actually just shocked me into speechlessness.
Go on.
I wasn't expecting this at all. 1.1% Middle Eastern.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
I was not expecting that at all, but that is really cool.
Ooh.
0.9% finish.
Oh, that explains a lot.
That explains why I love the Nordics and the North, but also I want a sauna. The Finnish love saunas.
If you'd like to find out more about your family history in DNA, then use the code indieprojects for free shipping. As an added bonus, you can also get a 30-day free trial of MyHeritage's best subscription for family history research and enjoy a 50% discount if you decide to continue it.
There's a really beautiful spot. I mean, the whole forest is beautiful, but there's a really beautiful spot along the way back to the house where Theo's got a pretty cool idea. We've got lots of ideas for this place, but this is an idea that I think would fulfill childhood fantasies for sure. We're going to show you it now.
So when I was younger, my granddad one summer built me an epic 2-story treehouse with a trapdoor, and I was walking around the property the other day and I found this little patch of beautiful trees that wasn't affected by the fire, and it's the perfect place for a treehouse because you've got this symmetry of trees running all the way along. And I'm thinking in this corner, if I built some sort of treehouse, it doesn't have to be super high, maybe 2.5, 3 meters high into the tree. You just look out and feel like you're in the trees, which, well, you would be in the trees, which would be incredible. It's a beautiful area. It's so calm and peaceful. It's just, there's something about being surrounded by trees that just fills me with peace, and I can imagine just sitting here and it'll just become like a meditation space.
Yesterday, whilst I was in the house and Theo was down at the garage, he rang me and said to come down straight away because something really odd was happening. He just nipped outside and he spotted something he was not expecting to see.
So as Bee mentioned, I was working in the workshop. I came out, I looked to my right, and seriously, I thought I was hallucinating because what I saw was the most bizarre thing and I just wasn't expecting it whatsoever. So obviously I picked up the phone, called Bee because it was just outrageous.
Seriously, you are not ready for this. I was not ready for this when I got down here.
So meet our new baby goat, which is just bizarre to say because we didn't buy her, we wasn't given her, we didn't rescue her. She just decided that it was time to come and live with us.
Lovely.
And she's adorable, absolutely adorable. And I got in the car once Bee had got a hold of her, and we put her in this fencing that we bought recently because we're going to get some sheep and we wanted to separate the sheep from the goats until they got to know each other. And it's really good because they can get to know each other through the fence before we actually integrate them. But she just decided to integrate herself. And when she was secure in here, I drove around the area, but there's no farms with animals around here. And I couldn't see anyone who had lost a goat. So we're just hoping, or are we hoping that the owner comes up?
50-50 hoping. I
or
mean, she
are we
turned
hoping
up
we can keep her?
with this blue rope around her neck, which is a bit sad.
It looked like she'd been tied up and escaped because she had this rope. But like I say, she must have come a long way. And maybe she could smell the other goats. And all I'm doing now is just keeping low about her height so I can show that I'm not a threat and I can just build up the trust and just enjoy the time with this like Miracle Mountain. Such an amazing place. Like, how are we just birthing goats out of nothing? We gained a baby goat without the goats giving birth. It's just the most bizarre situation. And seriously, I thought I was hallucinating.
The mad thing is there's so many different species of goat, obviously, and she looks to be the same species as ours, which I think it's a Furrnando goat. It's a species that comes from Portugal. It's a Portuguese species, and she looks just like Sky and Aurora did when they were younger. She's definitely a girl as well, which is, what a stroke of luck. I mean, if we'd ended up with a boy, we'd end up with loads of little babies as well, but it's a bit of a tough one because I don't know what to do. we want to make sure that obviously someone, like if we lost one of our goats, we'd be absolutely gutted. She doesn't have an ear tag or anything to identify her though. No one has come around looking for a goat. We can't find anyone around here.
I've checked all the Facebook groups.
Yeah, we've checked all the groups, and for now, because Theo, obviously he said she is very young and we all know what young goats are like, we've kept her in this enclosure to keep her safe. We don't know anything about her. We don't know if she's got any diseases or anything that she could pass on to our goats, and so we've kept her in here. We've kept the rope on her, although we do want to replace it with a collar and a nicer leash, but we don't want her to run off. It's the weekend, nowhere's open, and we just thought we've managed to save her because she was just in the mountains. If the owner does appear, it'd be nice to be able to say, here's your goat, we've kept her safe for you.
The sun rises behind her eyes, but she still can't see it. And she's beside me, I walk slowly. She feeds my soul all the gold I could need.
What better way to spend the Sunday afternoon than doing some chores at home with our girl?
She looks thrilled.
Fluffy Ginjey, yeah, she absolutely loathes being held, but I love it. But yeah, there's some things we wanted to do to the kitchen that actually aren't major tasks, but they're going to transform it, literally. Transform! Are you ready? Let's start the transformation. So the first thing is the handles. There's a hell of a lot of them, and as you can see here, we've actually already swapped one out for a nice black one, which compared to the old silver one has completely transformed it and makes it look brand new. There's a lot of handles, and then we want to change out the lampshade, which is a nice simple task, I'm sure. So let's get to it. Whee! Ooh, I like the wire.
Looks good,
I
doesn't
didn't
it?
realise it was going to be like that. Snazzy.
Should be super simple to set up because these are IKEA lights, the original lights, and we're swapping them with IKEA ones, so it should be literally a couple-minute job.
Let's hope that doesn't bite you in the ass. I'll turn the light off so you can actually work safely. Oh, turn the wrong one off. There we go.
This whole time I've been searching for the wrong thing. She's my captain, she's the sea. She's the sun on my back, baby, believe me. She's my captain, she's the sea. She's the sun on my back, baby.
Does anyone want some old lights?
Lampshades.
Lampshades, they're going free. 3, 2, 1. Hey!
I love it!
How much brighter are they than the other ones? The other ones took ages to like warm up and slowly get brighter and brighter, and these ones just like bing.
They look so lovely, and they just give the kitchen a slightly new vibe.
Proper farmhouse style kitchen.
The lighting has made such a difference. We already have windows in here, so we've got a lot of nice and natural light, but it really feels a lot brighter and airier in here just by changing the lampshades and the bulbs that are in it. And next it's time to update all of the cupboards and drawers. So Theo's taking off all of the old ones now, and then I'm gonna then clean all of the cupboards because obviously these handles have never been removed before.
I can promise you these are not my straws.
So I'm gonna give them a quick wipe down. Theo's taking them off, and then we can put the new ones on. This is the ones we've got. They're from IKEA. And you know what? This was such a luck of the draw that these actually fit, because we didn't really plan ahead, did we, and measure the exact size of these handles. We just kind of guesstimated them.
No, we did it
off the side.
Video clip of my hand.
Yeah, we had a video clip of Theo's hand using one of the drawers, and we got him in the shop to hold another handle and be like, does that look like it fits? And you know what? It did. And I think there's 30 handles to replace.
So many.
Yes, there's a lot. You can see over there, there's loads. And then we've got all of those. So I'm gonna now give all of these a good clean. And the cats are helping as well. Ginjey, you've only opened half of that. Do you reckon you could just do the second bit? Thanks, love.
You found my heart in my mind, fighting for my bones. And I'll never have to break the code alone. kind you only find in a story. I've never had anybody fight for me.
If anyone's squeamish, look away now. 3, 2, 1. Ginjey's just left us a wonderfully humongous pile of sick. She's been trying to get this fur ball for 2 days now. So there's nice bits of grass in there, and wow, all I can say is thank you, tile floors. This will be easy to clean, seeing as I'm already cleaning the cupboards. Look at this actually. Theo's put a load of the handles on. How good does that look?
So much better. Just a handle transforms it.
It's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with how it's coming along. So now I'm going to clean that up.
She's my captain, she's the sea. She's the sun on my back, babe, believe me. She's my captain, she's the sea. She's the sun on my back, babe, believe me. Believe me. Believe me.
We've got all of the handles on. Ginjey assisted the whole way, even with the vomiting in the middle. And it has completely transformed the space. It's actually really huge as well. Let me put you down. Because we took the table out, and it's made me realise that the kitchen is gigantic. We did have a big table in it too, which was never meant to live in here.
Maybe we need like a small island.
Yeah, maybe
Or
we're
maybe
gonna.
a big island.
Maybe we're gonna be island people. I don't know. I've never in my life thought of having an island kitchen island, whatever. But it looks really good, don't you think? Don't you think?
So good.
Part of my evening routine is going and putting the chickens safely to bed. It's such a wonderful time of day. I love it because we have the lights on, it's twilight, the forest is pretty peaceful, there's still birds going, and it's just a really, really lovely end to the day. So I'm almost at the chicken coop now. I'm at the last light next to their coop, and it's perfect for being able to vlog, but I've got to say it's such a lovely evening, especially because the cats have come with me as well, and I'm going to go over to their coop now and lock them in. We have got a floodlight that comes up, so I might be able to actually vlog over there, and we put that up because we discovered a fox had been trying to dig and get under and into their coop at night. Thankfully it couldn't, because their actual coop has a completely wooden bottom, and the actual run has a predator proof skirt all the way around, and it hadn't actually tried to dig under that, just the coop. So we set up the light and we set up the CCTV, well, the camera trap for animals, and we did actually get the fox on camera. Once we put the flashlight there, it's only come back once and not again, so that's very positive.
So we are now back from putting the chickens to bed and making sure the goats are all okay. The fire is cracking, it's so toasty warm in here. We've got vents upstairs in both bedrooms and the hallway, and this system heats the whole house so well. And the baby little goat, we wanted to make sure that she was okay because she's on her own in a little pen. And what we do at night is we put basically a little house in there so she's got shelter, because there might be a spot of rain tonight. We want to make sure she stays dry. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a really fun one to make, and we'll catch you on the next one.